You know, what the world really needs right now is a film that follows the three F's: family, faith, and Flamin' Hot Cheetos. These are going to make my fingers red. So Flamin' Hot is based off the true story of the guy who invented the Flaming Hot Cheeto. When I heard they were doing this film and I heard that premise, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. But after seeing the Tetris movie and how they worked that true story into that film, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they'll do something unique and interesting with it. And they got a director like Eva Longoria to come in. And I was like, okay, cool. We're going to get at least an interesting, take and spin on this, true story, and we'll see how that goes. It is a Hulu original, so if you go straight to Hulu right now, at least in the United States, you could check it out. I'm sure in other parts of the country it's probably like on Disney Plus or whatever. But so that's where you can find the film. And I also wanted to mention real quick that the film is based off of the book A Boy, a Burrito, and a Cookie: From Janitor to Executive by Richard Montanez. So this film is about a guy named Richard Montanez who started off as a janitor, worked his way up to being an executive with Frito-Lay after inventing the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. As a true story, who knows how much of this is actually true and how much of it's false, but they do a good job at a couple of points of being like, this is a little exaggerated, but they kind of wink and nod at the camera for that. But who knows about some of the minor details? And they go from, talking about even before his job as a janitor, he was on the streets slinging drugs, doing all this, but then he gets a family and he's got to start rethinking his life, and he doesn't have a high school diploma, so how is he going to, move up and get a good job? And it's really a good, interesting story about a guy who has determination and is just trying to provide for his family. And it's about, the rags to riches story. It's essentially that. We've seen this story a million times. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot here. There's like a big twist that, maybe you didn't expect, or, something, out of left field that you're like, oh, I wasn't familiar with this part of the story. Look, while this is a story that not a lot of people are familiar with, I do think it is, to a point, kind of a paint by numbers kind of true story retelling of somebody's life. And that's not actually a bad thing in this case. I actually found this quite enjoyable. While it is generic to a point, I dug the characters. I was never bored watching it. I thought they were interesting. They had the typical struggle we've seen over and over again, but I have no problem with that. And with it being a Hulu original, I guess I've been spoiled by like the Tetris movie on Apple TV Plus, or even by Hulu's own Prey last year, which was a top 5 film for me. I thought there was a little bit of promise here with a direct to Hulu original film, and I think this could have done well maybe in theaters. I think this really could have, but quality wise, I'm not going to say this is going to be an Oscar winner. I'm not going to say it's going to win any awards, but it is enjoyable. It is something you could go home, turn your TV on, go to Hulu and just click play, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good runtime. I think it's a very tight film, hour and 38 minutes. You're in and you're out, and I would recommend it. I think it's a good, fine film. Not going to be at anybody's best of the year list. I don't think it deserves to be on anybody's worst of the list, but it is a film that I think warrants a viewing. I really do. And the cast here does a solid job. Like, you have Jesse Garcia as Richard Montanez, Annie Gonzalez as Judy Montanez, and then you have like character, the guy from all the Allstate commercials. He's got that great voice, so he shows up. And then Tony Shalhoub shows up, who's one of my favorite actors. He played one of my favorite characters, Monk. He's done a lot of great stuff over the years. Tony Shalhoub's awesome. I think he's the best part of this movie, even though he's not in it a whole lot, but I always love seeing Tony Shalhoub pop up in this, so it was cool seeing him. And like I said, it is a good time. Just don't expect to be like, this is the greatest film ever. But for a product like the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, to have this little story, it is cool to see this story told. So I'm going to give this film a B-. It is a good film. A B- doesn't mean bad. It just, there are certain aspects of the film that I feel like it just fell a little short on, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was bad. Nothing in this film is bad. It is all good and tops out at pretty good, which, again, is fine. Nothing ever gets below good. I think it's across the board fairly solid, just not going to blow your minds. But what do you guys think? Do you have any plans to watch Flamin' Hot on Hulu? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you could, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. And if you could, please, guys, spread the word. Go get a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Sit down and enjoy this film. And until the next review, guys, I'll be seeing you.